So far, I have provided you with general information about depression and pointed out 30 symptoms observed in adults during depression. In this section, I will first discuss the symptoms and signs of childhood, followed by adolescence and youth, and finally, old age. I will also have the opportunity to inform you about what is known as bipolar disorder or depression with mania, commonly referred to as manic depression. When discussing children in psychological terms, we usually focus on the period from birth to age 12. Therefore, the symptoms and signs of childhood appear when our child experiences depression. It is always essential to keep in mind the general symptoms of depression in adults that I previously mentioned. Because the symptoms of different age periods are still reflected in adult signs, in most cases, what is considered childhood, adolescent, or elderly symptoms typically emphasizes the intensity of the symptoms rather than introducing entirely new concepts. However, there are exceptions, such as the first case in childhood depression, where although depression usually involves reduced activity and energy, in children, the symptom of depression manifests as excessive activity or hyperactivity. A depressed child, while possibly wishing to activate their nervous system and brain, engages in excessive activity. Contrary to adults who suffer from inactivity during depression, children become hyperactive and may be impossible to calm or settle down. This hyperactivity is different from having excess energy because a child with excess energy can control it, whereas a depressed child moves uncontrollably and, even when facing the risk of punishment or parental disapproval, cannot remain still for more than a few moments. Thus, the first symptom of depression in children is excessive and uncontrollable activity. 2. Sleep disorders. We know that children start avoiding sleep around age 2.5 to 3, and some may even fear sleep due to nightmares. The fear of what might happen during sleep leads them to avoid it. In some cases, children struggle to feel safe and comfortable in their own beds and resist sleeping in separate rooms. These feelings of insecurity are exacerbated when a younger sibling sleeps in the parent's room. For children with depression, the problem of sleep becomes even more severe, causing them to wake up terrified, seek out their parents, or cry extensively. Sleep disturbances in depressed children are more extreme than in other children, leading parents to suspect deeper psychological issues like depression. 3. Loss of appetite. Some children have long-standing issues with eating, but during depression, even those with healthy appetites may struggle. Children who previously had difficulties with food may experience an intensified decline in appetite, potentially leading to weight loss. The act of feeding the child becomes a significant challenge for the parents, often leading to additional stress. 4. Excessive complaining. Children may complain about seemingly minor issues, like not being given water from a specific cup or someone laughing at the wrong time. This excessive complaining is often accompanied by stubbornness and irritability. The child becomes fixated on minor grievances, reacting strongly to even small disappointments. Persistent complaining and irritability can be signs of underlying depression. 5. Aggression. Depressed children may exhibit aggression, becoming prone to fights, invading others' personal space, hitting others, including parents, or engaging in self-harm. They struggle to manage their anger and may react aggressively to even the smallest issues. This aggressive behavior is often a sign that the child is dealing with depression. 6. Excessive daydreaming. Children may engage in excessive daydreaming, talking to themselves, and creating unrealistic scenarios. While imagination is a normal part of childhood, when these fantasies take on a negative tone or involve lies and accusations, it can be a sign of depression. Depressed children may become anxious about odd or obscure topics, avoiding new places or people, and preferring the company of adults who care for them. 7. Withdrawal. Depressed children may cry frequently and sometimes even silently in private. They may withdraw from social interactions, preferring to be alone or hiding in small, isolated spaces. This withdrawal, combined with irritability and other symptoms, is often an indication of depression. 8. Excessive crying. Minor issues may trigger tears in depressed children, and they may continue crying for an extended period, even when the cause is no longer present. Persistent crying, especially when there is no clear reason, can be another sign of depression. Number 9. Exaggeration of physical pains. Depressed children often exaggerate minor physical injuries or discomforts. A slight bump or bruise may be described as a severe injury, and they may complain of odd pains, such as pain in their eyebrows or nails. These exaggerated complaints can be a sign of depression as the child struggles to manage their emotions. 10. Sulking and self-punishment. Depressed children may sulk, refuse food, or isolate themselves in their rooms. They may hide in closets or under beds and refuse to communicate, believing that by punishing themselves, they can make others feel guilty or change their behavior. If these 10 symptoms, along with the 30 general symptoms previously mentioned, are observed in your child, it is essential to seek help from a specialist to address the issue of depression.